I'm Corey with the Henrico Chess Club here with Grandmaster Maurice Ashley, the first African American Grandmaster in history. And we have this amazing opportunity to speak with him, ask him a few questions. Thank you for doing this with us, Maurice.
Not a problem, Corey. My pleasure.
For the first question I have is because I've started the Henrico Chess Club here in Virginia, and one of the difficulties I have is promoting chess in a community where it's not very prominent already. So my first question is, do you have any innovative ways to promote chess in areas where chess isn't prominent?
Well, I think that chess is a fun game by itself. It's been around for 1,500 years for a reason. But if I were to give any suggestions, other than just break out the chessboards and start promoting it amongst the kids, my suggestion would be to try and give away chessboards, give away chess sets, if you could. Like if you could buy a bunch of them and just do something crazy, like knock on doors and say, "Here's a chess set." Do you have a chess set in your home? You don't? Here's one. We're from the Henrico Chess Club, and we'd like to give you a chess set for a kid in your house to play. We think it's good for family, and boom, and then just leave. I couldn't do that in New York City. We might, something dangerous might happen if I did that in New York. But I get the feeling like that in Henrico County, you might be able to pull that off, and people just, may not like throw something at you, or actually even open the doors.
I like that idea. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to do here. We can get all the members we do have together, do kind of like an outreach program kind of thing, or an outreach project, and get everybody out there.
Yeah, maybe you have a flyer as well, with that you combine with the chess sets. Chess sets are not that expensive these days, especially if you do it in mass. Like you just do like a big purchase from one of the big companies, and just get I don't know what number it might be. It's going to cost obviously, but I think when the price point is right, it's probably about $3 to get a solid tournament set at wholesale prices.
Okay.
And I just think it's a good way to get real chess sets in people's hands, not one of those plastic cheap ones from Walmart, and also get the word out. So I think that's an idea I've always thought of. I mean, I thought of a long time ago, but again, trickier to do in a community like New York, although it's possible, and so many people in New York as well. I might run out of sets just on my block alone.
Understood. All right. Well, thank you for that idea. I'm definitely going to probably do something along those lines. Let's see. I have a lot of members who are completely new to chess. Do you have any advice for them in ways to prepare for games and to make studying more fun?
Well, I think that it's a great time for chess right now. We have videos. You do it on so many sites. You just listen to videos, watch videos. Back in the day when we had to actually break out the books and study all those lines, man, that stuff was really tricky. That required work. That was for the truly dedicated. Now you got videos, podcasts, and then you can watch downloads from all the great sites like ChessBase, which has a lot of great stuff to look at. Certainly chess.com is a popular site. Chess24 is another popular site. So the visual element of chess has accelerated the learning, I believe. But another thing that I think is really important that people may not be keen on is always working with a partner on thematic content. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're studying an opening. You're studying some variation of Sicilian. You might study the lines, but you may never see these lines for 2 years in your tournament practice. And you studied all this stuff, and when the time comes, you say, "Didn't I look at this a while ago? I don't remember a thing about this position." Well, one way that top players practice is to practice individual positions that you're studying in openings with a friend. Get a good friend who's about your level, a little stronger, and pick a position. And what the Russians used to call the tabia position, and maybe they still call it tabia, but you sit down and you say, "We're going to play this exact position. Let's play some 5-minute games, 10-minute games, 15-minute games, whatever floats your boat. Play a few games in the line. You agree to play those first 12 moves or so. Get to the position. There's the same 12 moves. You get to the position. It's equal for both sides or unclear or whatever the assessment is. Certainly not one side is much better and you got to win the game. That's not fair. But get a nice, rich theoretical option that's interesting and play that game out. When you're done, discuss the game, possible nuances you could have played, improvements. Then switch the board around and play the other side so you know it from both sides. Then switch it again. Like I said, play 4, 6, 8 games in the line until you're satisfied that you know the line. Put a clock on it, reduce the time control. You'll find you'll really strengthen your play, your familiarity with that position, and it'll stick a lot longer than stuff that you just try to memorize from a book, which is totally boring. The same thing happens with end games. I think that a lot of people study end games without realizing that you can practice end games. You can practice certain positions. You can take a rich end game position and say, I saw this end game in a book. Let's practice this one. Maybe rook and bishop versus rook and knight. Don't make sure one side is not clearly better, and let's see how you win. Actually, you could do that too if you want, as long as you're playing with a friend who's willing to take the other side as well and say, let's see how you execute the technique. As long as it's not a forced win, it's really about practicing. And I think that the idea of having a partner is very powerful to be able to practice with and to practice thematically, not just say, I just want to beat you, so I don't care. I'm going to play some weird opening line you've never seen. That's not as productive in the long run.
Okay. Those are some good points, because right now with the club members, we just kind of come out, we just show off the skills from just play the games. Most of it's speed chess, and we leave each other to study on our own. So none of us have really done anything like that.
Oh man, so powerful to just form your super team. I mean, why just try to beat each other? I know it's fun to beat each other when you can work together, so you can go beat other people. Now that's a goal.
That's what I need to work on. Okay, I like that. The next thing is a little bit different. Does physical fitness and nutrition play a role in your chess?
Man, physical fitness is huge. Nutrition is huge. But I've always been about being in shape and also about eating right. I don't eat red meat. That's been the case since I was 17 years old because I feel it's heavy. It's heavy to digest, tricky on the system. White sugar, refined sugar, you try to stay away from. I've stayed away from most of my life. Sometimes you can't help it in certain cases, but in general, you try to do that. Sodas, I haven't had a Coke or Pepsi in 30 years. I mean, those companies hate me. I think that you have to stay in shape. In today's chess, I mean, I don't play anymore, and even still, I feel the need to stay in shape. Like I said, it's part of my regime, and it's part of the top players' regime. If you don't stay active, if you don't stay physically fit, those long 6-hour games, man, they will kick your behind. Even if it's a 4-hour game, you got to play 2 games a day sometimes in U.S. tournaments. Those will kick your behind. You will not be able to hold up. And you want to be the guy or the gal who around 7 or 8 you're saying, hey, how much more chess is we're going to play? That's what you want to be. You want to be powerful. You want to be the one with the stamina, one who can last. So anything that builds stamina, builds endurance, is perfect, because that's what chess is. It's about maintaining the stamina and endurance over long hours, so you're feeling fresh come the 4th hour of the game and come the last round of a tournament. Those are the people who are going to win the tournaments.
Okay, so along with creating a schedule to practice for chess, we also need to be worried about what we're eating every day, and we have to make like a workout schedule for the week and everything like that, huh?
We should be worried about what we're eating anyway. You want to live a long, quality life as best you can. You don't want to get sick early in life, and spend the last 15 years of your life, disabled or weak or fragile. You may not think about it when you're young, but it's, there's only 2 options in life. Either you grow older and you die, or you die young. So why not plan for the best?
Absolutely.
So yes, I think that staying in shape is particularly for a performance of a professional. It adds that 5%. Let's say you add 5%. 5% is a lot when you start looking, especially at the higher levels. That's like winning edge that you get against other people.
Okay. So adding to that, I just thought of what would you recommend? I used to run track in high school, and we would have like carbo loads at the night before a track meet. What do you recommend eating like the night before or the morning of a tournament?
I think that diet is very specific to the player, because people have their own meals, meal plans. But I do believe it's essentially, there are a couple of things. First of all, sleep is bigger than food in chess. I mean, sleep is huge. You want to come with a completely fresh mind. The problem that we often have is we play games late, and then the game is. I mean, I know I had this problem, and other players as well. The game is playing itself over and over in your brain. You know, even if you won, it's not easy to shake the game, especially if you didn't do well, you made a mistake. Man, then it's like it's on you, and somehow you have to get rid of this. So to me, the actual one of the top things you can do the night before is fatigue yourself. So I remember an example of this when I was in BC, Germany, when I got my second Grandmaster norm. I was playing in the tournament, and then after the games, I would go swimming in the hotel pool. Man, there was nothing like that to knock me out afterwards. I was getting some good sleep. I was sucking on that pillow. It was incredible. And I would wake up totally rested, totally refreshed for the next day because I had fatigued myself completely. I wasn't thinking about chess anymore because I had to think about that swim and just trying to maintain that breath. So I think that a good idea is to fatigue yourself, but only if you're already in shape.
Okay.
I'm not saying like you didn't work out. Now you decided the time you're going to work out is at the tournament. Man, you're going to be sore. you're going to be fatigued. You want to be in shape, but like I said, in the evening to figure out. It doesn't have to be 2 hours of it. It could be 30 minutes. Just to make sure you go to sleep and sleep well, because sleep is so hypercritical to having a fresh mind. You don't want to wake up tired.
Okay.
That said, that breakfast that you're eating cannot be heavy. It cannot be loaded, pancakes and syrup. That's not cutting it. That's not cutting it. If you're going to do your egg whites, or if it's eggs, some people might want to load up on bacon. I personally don't digest those things rapidly. So I think that you have to really be careful and know your own body. What stays in your body for a long time, what weighs you down so that you can't think as clearly, that make you sleepy during the game. It's up to you to really test the options that fit your own individual lifestyle. Because I think if somebody just sort of imposes food on you, that it's not necessarily as effective.
Okay. The last question I have for you. A lot of my members, they're not of the younger sort, so they're wondering, like, can they have the potential to become a master if they work hard enough at chess? And is there a different way that they need to study than the youngsters do?
I'm 49 years old, so I don't know what older is, or I feel like I'm extremely young. I feel like I did when I was 30. So maybe that's a part of eating right, maybe part of being in shape, trying to stay in shape as much as I can. But I think that the older player does face a challenge, and that the new technology sometimes can seem to bypass them because kids are on the internet. There is definitely software, chess stuff that may not have been around when they were younger, when they were just reading chess books and looking at ECOs. Like no, kids are not doing that anymore. Chess players are not doing that anymore. You don't see Anand doing that, even though he's 45. The new technology has definitely arrived, and if you don't have your databases, if you're not a part of an online chess club, so you can play as much as you want, anytime day or night, if you're not checking out the videos that's up these days, you're not really studying. That's a way of sort of imbibing the information much faster. So I would recommend just get with the technology, get with today's technology, because it's where it's at. And if you're not comfortable with it, it's going to be really hard to play against these young whippersnappers because, they're dropping moves and they're GMs at 13, 14, 15 putting moves in, and masters, it's just the way it is. But I believe that anybody with the talent can make it to where they want to go to. And if they're ready to work, put in that effort, put in that time, they'll get there.
All right, fantastic. I'm sure they'd be glad to hear that. I mean, keeping up with the modern day chess to improve instead of doing it like the old ways, how they used to just look at the books. I mean, personally, I I'm 24 and I've still just been around with the books. I haven't really jumped too much into the engines and all that, but I'm starting to recognize that I need to, especially when I've gone to a couple of tournaments and I see kids that I've played, and win or lose, they go straight to the computer and plug it in and look what they did wrong. And I kind of just take my sheet and I don't really, the only analysis I have is kind of myself or a friend, but it doesn't compare to what a computer can really offer.
So much more efficient.
Yeah.
I believe that the minus for the kids, though, is a lot of them totally rely on the engine and not think for themselves. But I think what you have to do is combine that. You want to take your thoughts down. What did you think about after the game? I mean, during the game. Take those notes, and then after that, take a look at what the engine says. Instead of just jumping on it, oh, I should have just played this. Why didn't I see that move? I'm so stupid. No, explore your thoughts as to why it is that you see chess a certain way, and then let the engine show you how stupid you are. That's just a basic way to strengthen your own independent thinking and also get the benefit of this tool that's like a grandmaster sitting in your laptop, in your living room with you. Why say no to that?
Absolutely. Well, that was the end of my questions. Did you have anything you wanted to leave with us?
No, I just appreciate the time. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to fans of chess. For me, I do these kind of interviews, or just on a spec. Somebody asks me a question, I just let's make it happen. I would love to pass on the message about the greatness of this game, and hopefully, I hope your members got a little bit out of it.
I'm sure they'll be ecstatic to see this. Appreciate your time, and yeah, well, thank you.
All right, have a great one.
All right, you too.
Take care.